Ho, ho, ho.
Green Giant.
What's good, guys? Hope you like that intro. So yeah, as you can see, I'm more mobile now. I can move around. I can shoot around more. Today I went to PT. The boot is coming off soon. I've started to drive. Just a little life update for you guys real quick. I just want to say sorry about the hiatus. So first of all, last Friday I was feeling a little bit under the weather. I don't know if Delta was catching up to me or some shit. I don't really know. Hope not. But I went to Disney with my family last week, and now I'm back. I just came in last night, so I'm ready. And there's a lot of shit that happened: free agency, MLB, NBA. I'm ready to talk about it. So with the MLB trades, first of all, you have Max Scherzer went to the Dodgers. Now, I just want to say, as a Red Sox fan, I was a little bit heated at the fact that Chaim Bloom and the Red Sox management didn't try to go for him more aggressively. Because, you know, as a Red Sox fan, we're in a good position right now. We took a little slide last week. We're losing some games, but we're on a, you know, the Yankees are catching up now. The Rays, you still can't forget about them. As a Red Sox fan, I was like, come on, if we get another pitcher in our lineup or in our rotation, we have a good shot of, you know, being the alpha team in the AL East, right? And the fact that we didn't get Max Scherzer, I was a little bit heated. But I have to say, I trust Chaim Bloom. I trust him because he made a great decision trading Mookie Betts. That turned out to be a great decision. This year, we're having a great year. Our players are turning up. The rotation is actually looking very nice. Some games are a little iffy when you get deeper into the innings. Some pitchers are doing better than others, but when Sale comes back, I'm very excited for this team. Max Scherzer to the Dodgers. In my opinion, it's kind of like, well, they lost Trevor Bauer, obviously, to, you know that situation. They lost Trevor Bauer. I believe Kershaw is coming back from the injury soon. But you replace Trevor Bauer with Max Scherzer, essentially. The Dodgers are a team to be reckoned with, but you can't forget about the Padres, the Giants. You know, the NL West and the AL East, these are the two divisions that are going to be seeing each other in the World Series, in my opinion. And I said this to all my friends at the beginning of the season. I said the Red Sox are going to be in the World Series, and I'm sticking with it, okay? I want to make a podcast. I want to make a vlog of me going to the Duck Boat Parade in Boston when they win the World Series, and you can hold me to that. But let's keep this video going. I also want to mention something real quick about my Boston Celtics. So, free agency has been going on, and as a Celtics fan, and you know, as a Boston fan in general, you don't usually get those big splashes in free agency. I mean, or even, you know, you don't. It's not common to get a huge fish to come to Boston, unless it's like a trade that happens. You know, Kyrie came to Boston, that was huge. Other things like that. Normally, it's not as exciting. You know, it's not LA, it's not New York, it's not Miami. I wasn't expecting any real earth-shattering moves to be made in Boston. What I will say though is, I really think that the Kemba Walker situation is gonna maybe come back and bite us in the butt. Now listen, the Knicks have gotten the Knicks. Say what you will about the Knicks, laugh however you want. The Knicks are actually a team to be reckoned with now in the NBA. Last year, it was very surprising that they made it in the playoffs, in my opinion. I didn't think Julius Randle was capable of balling like that. Mitchell Robinson, RJ Barrett, Derrick Rose, players like that. Now you add Kemba Walker to the mix. Solid point guard in the NBA, not exactly a great defensive player, but the Knicks are a team to be reckoned with. With Kemba Walker at point, you got Derrick Rose, you got veterans, you got people a young core in New York. Hey man, if it comes down to it, I think it's going to be a very good series, Boston versus New York. I'm sure the Celtics would take care of the Knicks, but now with Kemba, Julius Randle, who's actually proven to be a great player in this league, Mitchell Robinson, RJ Barrett, it goes on. And then you have the rookies who are coming up and still producing. I think the New York Knicks have done a great job in this free agency so far. They're not exactly a top tier team in the East, but they are a team that I can see making the playoffs and improving their spot in the playoffs for that matter. The next team I want to mention is, so obviously, let's get the elephant out of the room. The Los Angeles Lakers. Now, if you're not on Twitter, if you're not on Instagram, you might not have caught this. You might not have seen this. But from this whole week, reading stuff on Twitter and Instagram, it's a mixed bag. You get a mixed bag of emotions from people because some people, when this thing happened, when Russell Westbrook joined the Lakers, when the trade happened, a lot of people were like, oh, super team, blah, 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 super team. But now, a few days went by and people are saying, no, it's not a super team. It's a bunch of old heads, a bunch of, old guys out of their prime. To that, I say, and then they got Melo. So their team is basically 4 guys who are under contract. Now you have people taking the NBA minimum to play for them. My opinion is pretty simple. When you still have LeBron James, Russell Westbrook, say what you will about his shooting, say what you will about him being able to work together with teammates, being able to pass the ball. Say what you will about Anthony Davis, him being out of shape, him maybe not being the best with taking care of his body. And say what you want about Melo. Listen, you still have LeBron James, Russell Westbrook, Anthony Davis, who, by the way, is in his prime still. Anthony Davis is in his prime. I don't really see the argument that plays into this saying that the Lakers aren't a good team. And by saying the Lakers are just a bunch of old players, they can't win, it kind of sounds dumb, don't you think? Saying that LeBron James and all these players won't be able to play well together and this and that, it just seems stupid to say that. It seems stupid because LeBron James, no matter what, say what you will about him, say what you will about his character, his play, he flops, he's not this. LeBron James is still a winner, in my opinion. He's still a winner. Russell Westbrook, say what you will, he puts points on the board and he gets rebounds. He plays very good defense. Say what you will about his shooting, but to be honest, the Lakers are still a very good team in the West. Now, shooting is definitely a problem for that team. Shooting is definitely a problem. The memes are coming out. Oh, they're going to guard him. They're going to park the bus in the paint and shit like that. Russell Westbrook, Carmelo, and LeBron, maybe AD, they're all hungry for a ring. That's the bottom line. Russell Westbrook is starving for a ring. Okay, LeBron wants a ring, but if we're going to go tiers, I would say Russell Westbrook is probably ahead of LeBron for wanting a ring because, well, he doesn't have one yet, right? And to say that the Lakers are an old team and, they're not veterans, they're just old. I think that's wrong. I think obviously, yes, they are a well-aged team, but when you have a player like Russell Westbrook, athletic as he is, hungry as he is, plays balls to the wall every single time he's on the court, along with LeBron James, arguably the best player to ever play basketball, you have Anthony Davis, a gifted 4. At points, he can be a 5. He's a shooter. He's a mid-range shooter. Can sometimes shoot the 3. Not as consistent. But honestly, he's probably a better shooter than Russell Westbrook at that point. You have Russell Westbrook who's hungry for a ring. I don't doubt that they will be somewhere around the Western Conference Finals. Maybe they don't win it. Maybe they don't make it to the finals. But this is not a team that's going to just roll over at the end of the year. Now, I am a fan of watching LeBron. I'm a fan of watching Westbrook, and I'm not a Lakers fan, but it would not surprise me if next June we see this team in the finals playing whoever. I really don't think that it. People will say, they're too old. They're not gonna make it. Listen, if LeBron and Westbrook turn out to be a good duo together and they turn out to complement each other, there's not another duo really stopping them. I guess you could say, I guess a better duo, Harden, KD, Kyrie, KD, maybe, because they have better shooting ability. When it comes to the defensive side of the ball, I would take LeBron and Westbrook on the defensive side of the ball, obviously. But I think we should pump the brakes on saying that this team is too old and they're not veterans, they're old. I would pump the brakes on that because you saw LeBron's tweet as as in character as that tweet may be, LeBron, of course, is going to say that because LeBron is hungry, and so is Westbrook. And at the end of the day, they're looking for a ring, and I think that if they actually complement each other well and they don't ball hog and they don't get in each other's faces or step on each other's toes, this is a team that has actually, could possibly win the finals. Not saying they will. I'm saying keep them in your periphery, because if you want to sit back and you want to talk shit and say, oh, they're not going to win shit, they're not going to win anything, you're going to be sitting on your hands when LeBron is hoisting up that Larry O'Brien trophy. And I'm not even a Lakers fan, but I'm just saying, he's coming to the end of his career. He's hungry for a ring. He needs players around him, right? He's got Westbrook, who's hungrier than anyone else in the NBA to get a ring. I don't doubt that they will be in the running, in the contention come June, come late May. And that's all I'm saying about the Lakers and that situation. Now, let's talk about the Chicago Bulls. Interestingly enough, I think the Chicago Bulls look like a better team on paper than a lot of teams in the NBA. I would say that. First of all, Lonzo Ball, DeMar DeRozan, Zach LaVine. These are three. Lonzo's a 1, 2, maybe. He could probably. You know what? No, Lonzo he could handle the ball well. He's a 1 and a 2. You could put Zach LaVine a 2 or 3, DeMar DeRozan 2 or 3 as well. These are players who are hungry. I would say Zach LaVine is in that range where he's not exactly a young player, but he's still, young. DeMar DeRozan, a little older than them, still performs at a high level, still a great player in this league. Then you got Vucevic as a big man. The problem I see, obviously, is defense, but pick up another big man, maybe get someone who's going to step up. That team's a great team. Maybe not a finals team, but they are knocking on the door of playoff contention and could possibly see chances of taking a team to 7 games, in my opinion. Although players don't exactly have a lot of experience in the playoffs, they are good enough young players. I'm sure that when the season starts, we'll see them playing well together because they're young. Obviously, shooting the 3 is probably a challenge. Lonzo's getting better at shooting the 3. DeMar DeRozan is a known mid-range sniper. I see no issue. This team could be doing well next season. Definitely better than they have been in the past, that's for sure. And yeah, hold on. The next team I want to talk about is a very interesting team. The next team I want to talk about is the Philadelphia 76ers, okay? Sixers fans, if you're watching this, grab some Cheez-Its, grab some popcorn, sit down, because I want to just tell you this straight up to your face. Okay? Now this goes to Daryl Morey, okay? If you have a chance to get Ben Simmons out of Philly for an elite guard as Damian Lillard, do that trade in a heartbeat and do not question it. Okay, do not question it. You bring Damian Lillard into the 76ers organization with Embiid, Drummond, Tobias Harris, young players like Tyrese Maxey and Matisse Thybulle. That is a Eastern Conference final contending team, possibly a finals contending team. And there's no debate on that. You have Joel Embiid arguably is a top 5 player in this league. Damian Lillard is a top 3 guard in this league. You pair those two guys up, magic is going to happen better than what was going on with Simmons and Embiid because the lanes were clogged. You couldn't, if there was no lane to be had, Simmons was passing that ball up. He's not taking to the rack. With Dame, he creates his own shot. It's a no-brainer, in my opinion, for Daryl Morey to do that. Portland may have something to say about that, but if you have the opportunity to trade Ben Simmons for Damian Lillard, there is no question that you do that trade instantly, because why would you not? Why would you not want to have one of the best scorers in the league, Damian Lillard, on a team with one of, if not the best big man in the league, Joel Embiid? And I've had my discretions with the Sixers and the stuff like that, but I have to give respect where it's due. Joel Embiid is a top 2, top 3, maybe even number 1 center in this league. You pair him up with a top 3 guard in Damian Lillard, sparks will fly. Sparks will fly, and things are going to happen for that team. You bring Drummond in. Drummond, not a good free throw shooter like Ben Simmons, but another guy who can grab rebounds. box out, block shots, defend the paint. Tobias Harris is nothing to snuff at either. A player that can get you 20 points a game. You got Tyrese Maxey, great on the ball, great on-ball defender, as well as Matisse Thybulle. You bring in Damian Lillard in that situation, there's no question that things would be great in Philly if that was the case. Okay? And for Ben Simmons, the ship has sailed with him going to the Warriors, in my opinion. The ship has sailed. I really hoped that something would come up and he would be able to go to the Warriors, because that would be the best situation for him. Getting him to play with Clay and Curry, that would probably be the best situation for him. But that ship has since sailed, in my opinion, because they have Iguodala and they have Andrew Wiggins, and I don't think it's really. I mean, the Sixers would not probably want to trade Simmons for a player on that team unless it was a top scorer on that team, and I don't think that the Warriors are willing to give anyone up like that, except for maybe some picks and stuff like that. But yeah, I think the ship has sailed with Ben Simmons. Obviously, you've seen in the news where not contacting teammates, not contacting the GM, the organization. It's possible that in the next coming days we see a trade happening. And I'm not even a Sixers fan, but if I was, I would be praying, I would be writing emails, sending letters, DMing Daryl Morey, and telling him, go get Damian Lillard. CJ McCollum is not enough. He's not enough. I like him, but he's not enough. You have to go and get the big fish, because if you want to market Ben Simmons as, oh, we want all this, blah, 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 keep it simple. Keep it simple. Don't ask for too much. Just get Damian Lillard, because if that offer is on the table at all and you pass it up, you deserve to be put on the William Penn statue in City Hall, and you deserve to get like tomatoes thrown at you. Okay, Daryl Morey. If you don't get Damian Lillard and that offer is on the table, you deserve to be hung by your underwear on the William Penn statue in City Hall, and you deserve to get tomatoes thrown at you all day long. You hear me? Like, goddamn, it's not that difficult. As a Sixers fan, it's a no-brainer deal. For the Trailblazers, might be difficult. Might be a situation where, you might want to think about it. But for Sixers, no-brainer. No-brainer, in my opinion. Now, let me take a look at one thing real quick. And yeah, it's just, for me as an NBA fan, it's pretty much a no-brainer at this point. It's not really a matter of, what the trade will be. It's just a matter of when. When will they make the deal with Ben Simmons? When will they ship him away? All right, next team I want to talk about, Miami Heat. Okay, now, being a fan of the Celtics in the Eastern Conference is absolutely stacked. Now, I don't just mean that saying that there are teams that are super teams. I'm saying that there are teams that could compete. There are teams, multiple teams, that we could be watching in late June for the Eastern Conference Final. I think those teams are the Nets, the Heat, the Bucks again. Trade depending, Ben Simmons depending whoever they get. The Sixers are in that position. The Celtics, obviously, in my opinion. And who am I forgetting? Am I forgetting anybody? I don't really think so. I think those 5 teams, the Nets, the Heat, the Bucks, the Celtics, and the Sixers, barring a trade with Ben Simmons and Damian Lillard, those are the main teams that are competing for the Eastern Conference Final. Now, obviously, you guys heard the news. The Heat have acquired Kyle Lowry. Now, let me just tell you something. My friend Trevor, I think he might be watching this video, but if not, I'll have to text him about this, but he's a Raptors fan. I know he's a big fan of Kyle Lowry. But the good thing about Kyle Lowry leaving the Raptors is that he will be able to watch Kyle Lowry play deep into the playoffs, hopefully. Playing with Jimmy Butler, playing with Bam Adebayo. Honestly, that is an underrated big three in the East. Kyle Lowry, Jimmy Butler, Bam. That is an underrated big three. Kyle Lowry, great shooter, great scorer. Underrated defensive player, in my opinion. Pair him up with Jimmy Butler, a hard-nosed, hard-ass player, Bam Adebayo, demon on the rebounds. I mean, as a Celtics fan, I saw it firsthand how powerful and how tenacious the Heat can be when they beat my Boston Celtics, obviously, in the bubble. Say what you will about that, Mickey Mouse type shit, bullshit. The Heat were a very good team. Tyler Hero has fallen off a little bit, I guess, after Jack Harlow put him in the song. But he's still a pretty good player. Also got Duncan Robinson, who, in my opinion, is one of the few players in this league that I absolutely hate and have complete disdain for, because he is a lights out shooter, and he broke my heart. He broke my heart many times. The shots I thought he was gonna miss, they went right in. They were cash. Duncan Robinson is a fucking great shooter. And yeah, now you get PJ Tucker on that team. Very good team, very underrated. I'm watching the Olympics. I'm watching the Olympic basketball. I'm seeing Luka Doncic carry Slovenia. If I'm a Mavericks fan, or if I'm Luka Doncic for that matter, I am pissed that Mark Cuban and the Mavericks are not doing enough to get Luka any help. And I mean, it's very obvious. It's very obvious that Luka is the future of this league. He could possibly be the best player in the NBA in the next 5 years. He already is a top 15 player, maybe. I mean, maybe even less than that, right? It's just so obvious that when Luka is able to become a free agent, he is leaving that team. If they don't get him help, because Kristaps clearly was not help. Who else do they have in that team? I mean, they got young players, and it's just Luka is too good to go to waste. For the Mavericks not to go after any free agents this offseason, it's almost like disrespect to Luka Doncic, because you pair him up with a big man, you pair him up with maybe a guard, another ball handler. The Mavericks are a team that has actual chances of making it to the Western Conference Final. The only reason why they're losing in the playoffs is because Luka has to score at least 40 points a game to win. There's no one else that can help him with the burden. If I was a Mavericks fan, I would be pissed. If I'm Luka, I'm pissed, because it's so clear that if Luka gets someone else for help, they are in a great position to win, or at least make it to the Western Conference Final. At least make it past the Clippers. At least get past some teams that they know they can beat if they had a little bit of help. But that seems unlikely. So very early prediction for me is that if Luka does not get help in the next few years, he is leaving Dallas, because why would you stay with a team that does not want to get you any help? I guess the money, you could stay for the money, but if you want to win a title, go to a team that can actually get you help and actually can help you win and help showcase your talent. When you're playing in Dallas with a bunch of C+ and B average players, it's almost impossible to get past the first round of the playoffs by just scoring 40 points and having 11 assists and however many rebounds. So that's all I'll say about that. Yeah, that's about it. NFL. So with the NFL coming up, the season coming up, I want to talk about a few things for my Patriots. Okay. First thing being, I know we got Mac Jones and Cam Newton, and I have caught a little bit. I have caught some glimpses of them in training camp. Have caught some glimpses of some YouTube videos of players running around, catching passes. Some friends have been to some training camp. I've seen some pictures, seen some videos. Let me just tell you something. The Patriots will definitely do better than they did last year, but don't expect a lot. I'm a Patriots fan. I am not expecting a whole lot from them. Not even because, Cam Newton, blah, blah, blah. No, I think he's going to do well. It's just, I'm hesitant to be so excited for this team when I don't even know. It's not like the past where I knew that Tom Brady would get through every team in the AFC East. The Bills, we might not get a game from them all year. The Dolphins are a strong team. That's going to be tough. the Jets. Okay, we'll beat the Jets twice this season. No doubt about that. But let's not get ahead of ourselves in training camp or preseason. Let's wait a few more weeks before we decide whether or not this team is legit. I'm tired of people on the radio, 98.5 Sports Hub. I'm tired of WEI, condemning players or, saying that they're the best player I've seen since Jesus Christ, right? I'm tired of that. Let's wait until at least Thanksgiving to determine how good this team is. Right? Is that fair? Let's wait till we see Mac Jones on the field. Let's wait till we see Cam Newton and friends on the field before we condemn, before that we start saying they're the second coming of Jesus Christ. Because in all fairness to the Patriots, in all fairness to Boston media, last year they and me included were hyping up Cam Newton so much to the point where my dreams were shattered. I was sad and depressed when I saw Cam Newton not being able to complete passes 25 yards or greater. So I'm going to end this here and just say, let's pump the brakes a little bit on the Patriots. Let's not get too ahead of ourselves. Let's not get too down on ourselves. It's August. It's early. It's the first week of August. Give us some time. Give the players some time to mesh. I'll see you guys on Thanksgiving for my official review of the Patriots. If the first few weeks of the season look immaculate, obviously I'll be out of my chair with excitement, clapping and stuff. And if it turns out that the first few weeks of the season the Patriots are absolutely dog shit, I will be on my podcast condemning them and saying they suck. But I'm going to wait to give my full opinions on them when the season actually starts. I'm not going to get into this Fantasyland type bullshit and start saying, oh, well, maybe if this happens, maybe if this player does well, no. Let's pump the brakes, wait to see how the season goes, how it progresses, and then I'll make my decision then. But thanks for listening to this podcast, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hope it wasn't too long. I don't even know how long I've been talking for, but hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys have had a great summer. Summer's coming to an end. But yeah, hope you guys have had a great summer, and thanks for tuning into the Fan of the People podcast. This is Cam Murray, and yeah, thanks again, and peace.